everyone, Steve here, and welcome back to Rustic Moose Coins. In my trailer, I talked about my journey as a collector and how I got started, and it all began with a pickle jar and one that I found in my dad's closet, not full of pickles, but full of coins. So I figured what better way to start my YouTube adventure than to start with that small pickle jar collection, my dad's collection, that made me such a passionate collector today. Welcome in, everybody. So these coins you see now are the very coins from my dad's collection and the very reason that got me started into this amazing hobby. Being 7 years old, it's 1994, I had never seen any coins like these before. I was still so used to seeing coins like the Washington quarter, Jefferson nickel, or Kennedy half dollar that we still see in pocket change today. But these coins here are very different, and I was just so fascinated with their beauty and their detail, and so intrigued by their age and the fact that they were still in good or at least relatively good condition. Even back then and still today, I'm so drawn to coins with a depiction of liberty on them as opposed to coins with, United States presidents on them. As my dad would explain some of the history behind these coins and different time periods they were from, I was still too young and didn't realize and fully understand the historical value behind these coins. I just knew they were super cool, they were super different, and incredibly beautiful. In this lot here, there's one coin that really grabbed my attention first. Anybody have any guesses as to which one? Alright, everyone, let's see how many of you guessed correctly. And yep, it's the peace dollar. It's huge, it's heavy, it's shiny, and I really love the design of this coin. When I got back into collecting as a more serious collector, this is one of the first coins I sought after. Every time I see a peace dollar, it makes me think of my dad, just because when I see this coin, it just always makes me think of my dad's collection. And this 1925 from his collection is the only peace dollar that he had, and it was the only peace dollar I had in my collection for a long time as well. But as much as I love the peace dollar, there's still one other coin from my dad's collection that I still attribute to the reason that I became a collector, or at least a serious collector of coins, and it is the Indian head cent. This coin, to see an Indian on a cent just kind of blew me away. Seeing Lincoln Memorial cents and Lincoln wheat cents, to see an Indian on a cent, just it fascinated me. When I got into collecting and did a lot more research into collecting, I learned that it's actually a depiction of Lady Liberty wearing a headdress, not so much an Indian, but still an absolutely gorgeous design and one of my favorite designs of all time. Within my dad's collection, there's a few other coins that I want to single out and briefly talk about, so we'll go over those next. My dad's oldest coin he had was this 1848 large cent, and I couldn't believe this was a penny. I thought it was some sort of novelty coin, but these are real. These were really made. Until about 1857 these coins are made, and you can see the size difference there with a Lincoln wheat cents, just a pure size. Again, just being 7, never truly appreciated these coins as much until I was a serious collector. But one of my favorite coin series to collect now are these large cents. Another super old coin, or old coin that my dad had in his collection, was this 1864, heavily worn, likely buffed or polished. It's about the size of a quarter, a little bit bigger than a penny. What is this thing? And you flip it over and it's a 2-cent piece. Who knew that the United States made 2-cent pieces? When I was 7, I was so intrigued by this. This coin is so different and so cool looking, and I really like the design of these coins. And back in school, I may or may not have brought this in to show and tell. Just, again, being so young, never truly appreciated the history behind these coins. But an awesome little design here. And the next coin I want to show you guys is one of my favorite series, and one of my favorite coin designs, specifically this 1853 arrows and rays quarter. I really like the arrows and rays. I like the rays on the back of this quarter. The Seat of Liberty design is gorgeous. This coin being from my dad's collection, it's pretty beat up, but I hold on to it because it's my dad's collection. And the arrows and rays signify a silver weight change, As silver became more valuable, the weight of these coins outvalued the actual denomination. So these were too heavy and weighed too much. So they went from 103 grains down to 96, and the rays and the arrows by the date signified that change. And these coins would break down the dies because of the rays. The dies would break too quickly, so they had to take the rays out. So this is a 1-year type coin. Only in 1853 do you find the arrows and rays, and that's why it's one of my favorite designs, because it's a 1-year type coin. And transitioning from one of my favorite coin designs to my all-time favorite coin that the U.S. ever made, and it's the Standing Liberty Quarter. I absolutely love this design. I love the symbolism this coin stands for, as the U.S. was about to engage in World War I. Lady Liberty standing in front of this gate. She's got a shield in one hand, and she's hoping for peace, but she's ready to defend herself in war. You know, what's not to like? I love this design. I love the symbolism behind this coin. The reverse has this really nice eagle in flight with the stars around it. You get the 3 stars underneath. There's a couple different types of coins. There's 3 specific types to this series. This is a very popular U.S. series to collect, but it's a very challenging coin series and tough to acquire in nicer condition as these coins skyrocket in value. And we'll go over that in future videos. But transitioning again from my favorite coin to my dad's favorite coin that he owned in his favorite series, and it's the Walkin' Liberty half dollars. This was his favorite design, and this was his favorite coin because it was his favorite design, but also it was his birth year, 1945. I'm not sure if he got this as a gift or if I don't know how he acquired this, but this was his favorite coin in his collection. So this coin specifically is just so sentimental to me, being his favorite coin and him no longer being with us. You know, this makes this coin just so precious to me. This Walkin' Liberty design is very popular. It's still used today in the Silver Eagles as those continue to be released. Going from my favorite coin to my dad's favorite coin to kind of round out the individual coins from this series. And next I want to talk about a few groups of coins to complete my dad's collection here. So we've talked about several coins in my dad's collection now, and I wanted to group these ones together because when I was younger you could still find these fairly easily in change or on the ground or something. You know, I had seen these coins before. That doesn't mean that I wasn't any less fascinated with them because of their age and, you know, the fact that they were just in my dad's collection. But some of these coins here are some of the most iconic in United States mint history. You have the Buffalo nickel here, just a gorgeous design, also referred to as an Indian head nickel. You have the beautiful buffalo design on the back. And this one has some nice blue toning to it. Gorgeous coin. You have the Mercury dime. Very popular series. I never got into them as much, but I do like the Mercury dime collection myself. And then the classic wheat penny. This is another birth year for my dad here, and this one's got some nice toning to it. My dad would keep a separate jar of these Wheaties that every time he found one, he would just add to it, and I think a lot of us collectors do the same. I still do that. The last group of coins here that I want to talk about from my dad's collection are these groups here: the V nickels, the Barber coinage, and the Benjamin half. I like these, but I was never really too fond of these or super attached to these like I was to the peace dollar or the Indian head. These V nickels are a gorgeous design, and they're actually one of my favorite series to collect today now that I have done more research and I am a more serious collector. I really like these V-nickels, but took a while for me to really appreciate the historical value of these coins. When it comes to Barber coinage, which are the dime here, the quarter, and the half dollar, not my favorite. The dimes, if I can speak here, are not my favorite design. The Barber, the classic Barber obverse, and then the dime has the one dime with the reverse with the wreath around it. These dimes, I don't get too much into dimes, period, but the Barber dimes don't really move the needle for me. The quarters and the half dollars, however, I love the reverse on these. The heraldic eagle with the ribbon in the mouth and the arrows and the oak branch there clutched in the talon. These are beautiful designs. I really enjoy the barber quarter and the barber half reverse design. Again, this one's pretty beat up. It's got some nice toning to it, nice pink underlying tones here. Now the Franklin half dollar, this is a proof. It's super shiny, but man, when I was younger, I thought this was one of the ugliest coins. I don't think they did Benjamin Franklin any justice on the front of this coin. I much preferred the Kennedy half over the Benji, but now that I'm older, I really do appreciate the Franklin half, and I do like the Franklin half, especially if you can find one with some nice toning on it. I do like the Liberty Bell reverse on these, but when I was younger, I thought this was one of the ugliest coins that my dad had, but again, being my dad's coin, I had to hold on to it. So that's it for my collection, or my dad's collection, I should say, and I still have these today, but this is a close-up of what my dad had. I'm glad you all stuck around with me today as I showed off my dad's small collection and really the reason that I became a collector myself. I'm glad that I had second thoughts almost 20 years ago when I was selling my original collection to pull my dad's coins out and just to still have these pieces with me today. These coins, as I mentioned before, they hold such a special place in my heart as not only a connection to my dad, but just the reason that I became a collector myself. It's where my journey started. I wish my dad could see where my collection's at today, and also I wish he could see the monster that he created. Today I gave a brief rundown and mostly personal opinions in these series and designs. In future videos I'll be doing more educational presentations on each of these series that we saw today, as well as more series. We'll be going more in depth with design elements, errors, and varieties to be on the lookout for, and also historical information that will tie the coin's history into our own country's history. So stay tuned for those videos. I look forward to seeing you all again, and until next time, thank you all so much for watching.